Welcome back to The Balance. You've heard the phrase, it's funny because it's true. Well, they say good satire is funny because there is some truth behind it, and no one does satire like our good friends at the Babylon Bee, your trusted source for Christian news, satire. Seth Dillon. Seth, I'm a regular. I guess a lot of us are regulars. You guys have something. Here's my question, though. Are you getting pushback from the wokesters and the cancel culture mob? Do they go after you like they go after anyone else who just tries to have something to say online?
Are you kidding me? I mean, we must be doing something right because they come after us pretty strongly. We have an ongoing battle with fact checkers who are trying to rate our stuff false. We got reporters trying to suggest that we punch down at the wrong targets. And it's just, these are defensive measures they're taking because satire is extremely effective at making its points. Nobody likes to be mocked or made fun of or made to look silly or have their hypocrisy exposed. And that's what we do really well, and it's the reason I think we face some of those attacks. But yes, absolutely, they're coming after us.
Has anyone tried to cancel your, pull or deplatform you based on your satire, your parodies?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a couple of ways that they try to do that. I think one way is unintentional, and it's by they're turning reality into this absurd parody of itself, which makes satire really hard to do. They're going to put us out of a job just by making the world insane. But there are actually intentional ways that they're coming after us, and that's by suggesting that we're fake news, that we're misleading people on purpose, that we're not actually trying to do satire, but are abusing the satire label to misinform the masses. And that's just a malicious shot at us that's not based in anything other than their desire for us to shut up and stop making fun of them.
Might wonder why Cuomo was able to survive so long. Well, it might be because he wore a mask while harassing his staff. I mean, COVID, right? And speaking of COVID and the variants that will kill us all, we have Delta. They're warning us about Lambda. But what about the Cuomo variant? Dangerous to women, fatal to seniors. No holding back. And I'm thinking SNL. I mean, their whole weekend update is exactly what you do, only they do it on TV. No one seems to push back too hard on them.
No. Well, it's a difference of the targets, right? I mean, we're conservatives. We don't hide that. And we come at the issues from a different ideological perspective, worldview, theological perspective. So the targets that we aim at are the ones that are typically their sacred cows, their protected targets that they don't want anybody aiming at. So that's where we're running into it. Cuomo is one of those people. He's becoming less popular now for obvious reasons, but he's been low-hanging fruit lately, I'll tell you that.
So I guess the more I just take us through what a typical, how you get a post up there. You sit in a room, you throw it around, say, and you hit the line, and your line's different than my line because you are still steeped in satire. I don't get to go to that line, but you get to go to the line. Is there ever a time when you go over the line, and what happens?
We don't really draw lines in the sand for ourselves that we're not willing to cross. I think there are certain hot button topics where we have to be careful about how we approach it so that we're not misunderstood and so that the point that we're making isn't lost. But really anything goes for us. We are actually deliberately making the jokes that you're not supposed to make. I think that's an important thing to do right now in this kind of cancel culture environment where comedians are really feeling pressured to silence themselves. But in terms of how we do it, I mean, look, we got talented people. They wake up and read the headlines every day and think, how can we exaggerate what's happening in this crazy world to make a point? And we pitch headlines. The joke is in the headline. As you can see, these things, they can be funny without even having to read the article or even see the image that's associated with it. So it's all about nailing the headline, getting the joke, the point in the headline, and just the right wording. And so we iterate on it back and forth until we get it right.
Take us behind the scenes here a minute. I'm a huge fan. Your images are amazing. Do you have a group of people who you guys kind of plan these out? How does the image get made for the posts?
Well, once we have the headline just right and we know what direction we're going with the article, then we hand it off to our Photoshop team. Our creative director, Ethan Nicole, is very talented, and he's got some people working under him working on the Photoshop. So then it's just a matter of coming up with something really silly and absurd to pair with the headline to really give it the finishing touch. So yeah, we have talented people working on that too.
Final thought, Seth. My opinion on cancel culture and the woke mob is they're slaves to the corporate overlords. How do you stay afloat in an environment like this? You got about half a minute.
Biggest thing is just support directly from our readers. We have a relationship where we're really dependent on big tech to get traffic to the site and then monetize the site off of that traffic. But if we can get direct support from our readers, then that makes us less dependent on big tech, these big corporations that want to silence people that say things they don't want them to say. That's where it comes from us. That's our lifeline.
You know, very quickly, can you advertise? Because advertising is it's almost like a barren desert on the right. The left seems to be able to advertise. The right, very tough. Couple seconds, tell me.
Yeah, we can, but we primarily grow just by sharing good content and having it go viral. And organic growth is really where we drive most of it. So
right. I gotta,
it's just a matter of not being choked and stifled and being able to do that freely.
I got to leave it there, Seth. I want to bring you on because I love those Babylon Bees. Everyone, go do it. Go check it out.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.